And Kelly, you can decide whether you want to do Q&A while you're on your presentation or at the end. You can let us know. And with everybody else, please show your love and support. Use your emojis, use the chat box, and please note that drop your email address down as well, and we will be able to send you the link. I believe our tech expert will do the link via YouTube, so it will be easily downloadable. Please relax and be mindful of your mic and your surroundings and the noise and the echo. We want to give Kelly Markey all the respect and support that she needs, and we want to also be respectful for her time that she has so graciously given us. Your mic etiquette, we check that. Your emojis etiquette, we check that. Please note that we will be recording the session. If you're experiencing any tech issues, you can WhatsApp any one of us. Let us know. We can see how to support you. And obviously, Kelly, once again, we do have a little bit of extra time that was awarded, so we can continue even if we are 10 minutes over the time, seeing as we are starting a bit late. Without further ado, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you once again. A quick summary of LifeLine Zululand. We are in the business of psychosocial support and programs. So we do HIV/AIDS, youth programs, community engagement, as well as awarenesses when we look at hard and tough subjects such as suicide, depression, and our main arm is the gender-based violence. We service Northern KZN. We have 3 districts, and we don't only limit ourselves to the three districts and the programs that we have. Anybody that knocks on our door is welcome to come in and receive our services should the need arise. Without further ado, I'm going to hand over the spotlight to Nompilo Mapumulu, who is going to introduce us to the first spotlight. We are shining on locals. And over to you, Nompilo.
Thank you very much to our CEO. Good day, good morning, good evening. I know in some areas it's evening time. Today I'm going to start and introduce one of our spotlights, as our CEO have mentioned. Her name is Nokolo Ayanda Mchunu. She's from Gandla, in rural areas called Ekombe. She was one of our economic empowerment program beneficiary. She received help in one of our sites at Ekombe, where she was helped by one of our social workers. Our social workers based in that victim-friendly room. She has made a great progress, and she is happy to be here today to tell us about her achievement in terms of being a Lifeline beneficiary and also receiving psychosocial support in terms of mental health, how that have helped her to grow. Currently, she is based now at Mpangeni to try and improve her business of beadwork. It's all thanks to Lifeline social workers who have done a wonderful job with Miss Mchunu. Over to you, Miss Mchunu. Thank you very much.
Mchunu, can you open your mic? I see you mute.
Sorry for that. Greetings to you all. Thank you for having me. I'll go by the name of Nokolo Ayanda Mchunu. I am coming from Gandla, but currently at Mpangeni. I was invited by my social worker, Doli Kaba, who currently working at Gandla police station. But on that time, she was working at Kombe police station. I'm here to confirm that I was a part of LifeLine Zululand program that was held last year, June. Okay. I would like to say this. Lifeline taught me to be independent, not rely on anyone, even my parents, but on myself only. Even though I'm not working, I'm not even studying yet, but they gave me a skill to start something, and I'm able to do extra cash. I also have a big vision to grow more into the business, and also LifeLine equip us with those skills, knowledge, to start our brands and businesses, because now I am a baker too, even though I went there to do beadwork. I also learned the skill of patience, as we know that in life we want to win, but we won't win all the time, but sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. For example, in my businesses, sometimes I don't get customers, but that doesn't mean I should have to quit. In fact, I should have to be more consistent. I'm ready to share that I've able to start my own small bakery thanks to the skill, and I'm confident and confidence I gained from the Breedwork program. Although Breedwork was not directly related to baking, the program taught me uh, to be valuable about hard work, creative, and entrepreneurship that have been instrumental in helping me building my business. While Pitwek is not my primary business focus now, uh, I am currently busy with a laundry service whereby I help working people at my community to do their dirty stuff, and I'm also selling so many things. I am too young. I'm not even 21st, but I'm only 20 years old. I would like to big shout to Lifeline. I'm currently at Mpangeni. My life is so changed after I went there to attend that event.
That was great indeed, CEO. Thank you very much, Miss Mkono. She was one of our beneficiaries in 2024. Those were selected under economic empowerment from all three districts that we are servicing as LifeLine Zululand. We are so proud of her. In this program, we bring the ladies who are GBV survivors from their areas, and we bring them to the central place. We book them in the hotel. We treat them nice, because that is the start. When you are GPV survivor first, you lose your self-esteem, you lose the feeling of being valued. So then once they are here, they are treated, and then they are seeing that they are being valued. There are people who appreciate them, and that only alone it pushes them to grow. And we are so proud as the organization to see our beneficiary like Miss Mchunu doing so great, went to the extent to include the baking and also do the selling of clothes. In this program, we only teach them three skills, which is nail tech, beadwork, and baking. So for her to go extra mile to grow her business, to us, it's amazing, because that's what we hope to achieve, to help that one person. Thank you very much, Miss Mkunu, with that.
Yes, thank you so much, Miss Mapumulo. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful for this. I'm very grateful. As you can see, I was doing beadwork. I I did beadwork for my mom in order to for hire, for special occasions. Um, she is also earning more extra cash. I we are I'm say I am selling products for a living, and I hope one day God will make me to go more to extra miles. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Good luck, and we wishing you more success with your business.
Thank you
That
so
Thank you.
much.
was great.
Before you go, Can you open your camera so we can see you, and all of us can give you a round of applause and hearts? We want to give you some love, Mr. Mkunu. Show us your camera. Show us your face.
Mhm.
We want to just give you lots of emojis and love, and say on behalf of everybody. I know everybody wants to say something to you, and I just want to overall say we are proud of you. I'm going to give Kelly 30 seconds if she wants to say something to you.
Wow, I'm really proud of the journey you've come. I'm not going to try to pronounce your name because I'll get it right. Sorry, wrong. It is so wonderful to see that you are making this effort. And yes, keep going. You will get to your dreams.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That's such an inspiring story. Ladies, if there's any gentlemen, welcome again. I want to give a special shout out to some individuals that have joined us from midnight to bedtime. Nompilo, you said it right. We have guests that are joining us from afar, Aruna and Nila, and we have Faye Marks from the US. We have Lingiwe, Itumeleng, Mandisa. There's a whole list of guests that have joined us. We want to say a warm welcome once again to the Power Hour of LifeLine Zululand. And this week we are featuring Kelly Markey. Before we step into Kelly Markey, our next spotlight, we're shining on our local partnership, Humble Beginnings. And I'm going to let her tell you about herself and her, but I'm going to introduce, and her name is not Tumeleng, it's Itumeleng Seleke. Welcome to me. We'll call you Tumi. Welcome to me. You're welcome to use your camera. And over to you, my dear.
Good afternoon, everyone. So just as Michelle has introduced me, my name is Itumeleng Seleke, and I am the CEO and operations manager of Nomosas B&B, which is a family-run business, which was started back in 2009. And we have B&Bs we have a B&B in Malmouth and B&Bs in Richards Bay. I'm also the proud travel agency owner of my own business. This one is mine. It's named after me. It's called Traveling with Itu. And I'm also an intimacy consultant. That's my latest gig. And I'm currently also studying for a qualification to be a neuro life coach. I am not trying to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. That's not why I do all of these things. I'm taking the time to learn what I like and what I dislike. A lot of us grow up and end up doing what our parents want us to do, just so that we can please them. I'm a notorious people pleaser. And I just wanted, so I'm just trying to find myself, and while also working as a CEO and a director and this and that and whatever. But my story is one of passion, resilience, and finding one's purpose. I come from a retail and retail banking background. So what happened with me is that during COVID, there's a lot of people's stories that say they started their other part of their lives journey during COVID. So during COVID, I was retrenched, and I then took a sabbatical for a year. I was trying to take a break that I really, really needed. One of the things that my people pleasing also started from the time where I never got the opportunity to take a gap year. So I kind of like told my family during that time when I was retrenched that please can they give me at least a year to just settle and just rest. Because you've done 12 years of high school, preschool, primary school, all of that. I did tertiary. I was working during tertiary during my last 2 years full time, and I did qualify to get my BTech. So I'm glad I've done all of these things, and I'd been working nonstop basically. from the time I was born, I feel like. School is also work, guys. So COVID was the much needed catalyst and time I took to pause and reflect on the life that I was having up to that point. And I asked myself, are you happy? And is this the life that you want for yourself? And the answer was no. So it took me that year to rest and to just I traveled a little bit. One of the things that I did when the borders of the world opened was that I traveled. I think I went to Zanzibar. I went with my little sister. I traveled inside the country as well, and I was just trying to see what can I do. I even did a nail tech course, of which I never even really finished it. But I was trying all these new things. Coming back to my journey, you must be careful what you ask God. And deals that you make with God. Don't actually make a deal with God, especially if you don't know if you're going to be able to do it. So one of the things that I said to God is that, please, can you give me a year off? And I promise I will then do whatever it is that you want me to do, which is in line with my life's purpose. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. God gave me a year to rest. After I got my 12th UIF check, my stepmother, Sis Nomsa, may her soul rest in peace. She passed away from COVID complications. And I found myself running the family business, of which it used to be somewhere where my family and I, my sisters and I go and visit, go say hi to my parents, and then we are off. So from the time of the funeral, I then started being in this role of just helping my father. My father never forced me to take on this job. But everybody was like, no, you need to do this. You are not working. You need to move to Richards Bay. And I had a talk with my father and with my sisters at first. We had a talk and we asked him, what would you like to happen to the business? Because the business was struggling at the time. I mean, this is during COVID. It had been struggling even before COVID, actually, though, after I saw after I took over the role. But he then said, I mean, I'm not going to just close shop and move to Joburg, where everybody else in the family is. So I then, because he's also got sentimental value towards this place, there's people's jobs that would be at stake if we just up and left as well. So I then sat down with my father and I said to him, look, I can assist you, but on my terms. I think that's when I started standing up for myself. Even though I was looking out for my family, I also said, okay, I can assist. My terms are that I won't be able to move to Richards Bay, but I will come as often as I can. And at that time, I think I used to come every single month, come and check on the business and do everything that the business needed. But I wasn't still sure if this is part of my purpose, if this is what I want to do with my life. Because my life, I felt like it was more in the skills development side of things. And I was at that time, I think I'd done a course to be a skills development facilitator. So I then took up the opportunity to have our family business being my first customer. I went out and looked out for opportunities. And last year, I found myself applying for, yes, I see there's a hand raised. Must I answer? Or
I'm just
am I
gonna keep
taking too
check
long?
on the time, Timiling.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
just a few more
So, but
minutes. Thanks.
basically, okay. So basically, we then have we then got granted 9 students to come and do the skills development, not skills development, the internship with us. And basically, through my hard work and perseverance, I've managed to get our establishments into market access programs as well. And we are also trying to make sure that we do give back to the community by doing other, we have, what you call these things? We have, sorry, I'm now starting to get nervous. We have, it started as an Entrepreneurs Day initiative where I wanted to give the opportunity for other entrepreneurs to come and just show their products and services. It has now turned into us doing our fourth one this coming month on the 20th of August. We're going to be holding, we now call it a business breakfast. We hold it at the establishment, and we give entrepreneurs a safe space to do business with other entrepreneurs. We also having since it is Women's Month, we are also hosting our first high tea, which will take place also at the B&B. And we are also having a tour, a culture tour at the end of this month, which we are trying to give the opportunity to other entrepreneurs and the bead makers, like Osis Nokolo, she's a bead worker. We could find an opportunity for her to place her in that. We've got chefs, we've got enthusiasts of food and wine, and even LifeLine. They have supported me. I went out looking for them, and they have basically done training with my staff, with me. They've talked to me on a one-on-one basis, and I appreciate everything that they're doing for us. And they've also partnered with us now, and they've sponsored a few things, and thank you. Even this opportunity now, thank you for giving me this time to just share a little bit about my backstory, which it may not seem as hard as other people's ones, but it has been a journey in itself, and it has brought me to finding myself and actually living out my dreams in this job. Thank you so much, Michelle and team LifeLine Zululand.
Wow, thank you, Timiling. And I think, your story is different because we all go through journey and we have these different types of hardships, but yours is like almost you were in a situation where you're not fighting your family, but you got to stand up for yourself in your family, and that's the hardest thing to do. Fighting the world is different. We all put on our best faces, we go punch the world in its face and come back braver than we were. How do you fight with family and come back together and still be family? And that's a secret recipe. You need to tell us on our next time, because at this point in juncture, we're
Yeah.
excited to see all the things that you have done. And I'm going to say what you said. I'm going to say it to everybody. Don't listen to me. So when she said, be careful what you ask God for, ask Him for everything and just see what He gives you. That's it. Just see where it lands. And then when it lands on
It
you, be
will
prepared
land.
to run with it. Don't shy yourself from any opportunity. And listening to
Yeah.
everything that you've done, from the bead tech to the nail tech to the skill up and the intimacy and the whole package itself. Um, there's so many on this group and probably outside that we know of that need this kind of connection and dialogue so that we can also say, you know what, I'm still finding myself. It doesn't matter whether you're 20, 50, 30, 60, you can still find yourself and find fulfillment and then start reaping the rewards of that. I'm just very excited to also echo the business breakfast. I want everybody to know that Numusa's B&B is in a humble residential area. It's not the affluent residential area, it's the humble residential area. But what it brings to the table for the business breakfast is actually dynamite. And we've attended that one invitation, and we were blown away by the number of individuals that come together with the entrepreneurship and support driving things forward. So we're very excited for partnership. So big up to you, Namusa. Thank you so much. And God bless for the rest of your initiatives. Maybe you're going to come back and say that you became a pastor. I wouldn't put it past me.
Someone has said that that's something that keeps happening, that people say I must be a pastor. That and a politician.
But your story is different. But it is a story that many of us overlook. You know, like family issues, we overlook those things. But yeah, well done and thank you. Now for the moment we all been waiting for, and Tabo, can we have our slide for our esteemed guest speaker? Now, Kelly Markey, I need a whole book a day and a chapter to introduce her. She's such a dynamic, I'm going to say young lady because she doesn't look a day older than 30. She's an acclaimed author, she's a visionary, she's a publisher, she's one of the catalysts for social change at the Beacon of Hope mission. She empowers people with the narratives, and she transcends over everything. You know, young and old resonate with who she is and what she does. And a multifaceted woman at that. And she's a trailblazer, going above and beyond, creating, let's say, essence and echoes wherever she is. And the tribe that's following her in that path. Look, you pick what you want, what you don't want, you drop, and you just carry on. But she's also a two-time Nobel Prize nominee and Woman Changing the World. She is the co-founder for Markey Writing Academy and the top executive 2023 IAOTP. A lot of alphabets there, I apologize. And esteemed ambassador, brand ambassador for Global Movement of Hope. Please, I'm asking you to go on to her site, kellymarkey.com, and have a look at her philanthropic work that she's done globally. She's collaborated with many individuals across the globe, from US, Africa, Pakistan, Egypt, you name it. She's done that. And a significant moment worth mentioning is Kelly Markey's New York Times Square feature of the book of the year. And that was something notably that when Kelly stood up there, she stood up there for all of us that cheered on for her from our homes, from our seats, from the car that we were driving. It's been such an excellent experience to go through that with Kelly, to have that International Association of Top Professionals, the Book of the Year for the life of Giandra. And Kelly has so much more accolades. Without me boring you to my voice, I really want to give a hearty, warm welcome, round of applause to Kelly Markey for gracing us with the presence, giving us the time. I know it's nighttime there, but she's all dolled up with a suit, and we are so appreciative of that, Kelly. You have no idea the gratitude that we have for your time. And for the others that are also joining us online, we have not acknowledged you. If I missed you, I apologize, but each and every one of you are making this a success. So really, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Over to you, Kelly.
Thank you, Michelle, for that introduction. Greatly appreciated. And wow, it was so amazing to listen to those testimonies. So thank you for sharing those, Lifeline. Wow, what amazing work that y'all are doing at grassroots levels. I love working with y'all because this is what I love to see, bringing hope and change into regular people. So hats off to you, LifeLine Zululand and the team. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my honor to be here. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share this platform. I don't take it lightly. And I hope that you get something that would speak to your soul and something rewarding. So I have a PowerPoint and I'm going to share. Hopefully you can see my screen. Thank you everyone and welcome, and thank you for making the effort for those that have to come from around the world, around this virtual screen. I appreciate it very much. And yeah, Lifeline is like a family to me. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. I appreciate the fact that we can, stop and honor the women around the world. There's so much that we, can do in terms of recognizing Women's Month and Women's Day. So thank you to LifeLine Zululand for doing this. Greatly appreciated. If you can go to the next slide, please. So this is our high-level agenda or overview of it. I'm not going to go through every point, but these are the touch points that we'll have in terms of where we're going to land on my discussion today. Essentially, I work in health IT, and what I do is basically design medical software and implement medical software in hospitals. On any given project, I could be working with about 2,000 clinicians. And rest assured that some of them do have God complexes. So I do have to show up with my cup full. There's no two-way about, just thinking that I could show up at work and wing it. I have to have my tank functioning from a full level. Next slide, please. Thank you, Thabo. So from my exposure in terms of working in high performance sectors, the key aspects that stand out to me is when people are well aligned, emotionally regulated, and well supported, then they don't just survive, they thrive. And this is applicable to the average person as well. So in a nutshell, well-being refers to a state of overall health and happiness, encompassing physical, mental, financial, and social well-being. It's a holistic concept that includes how individuals feel about themselves, their relationships, and their lives. Well-being is not just the absence of illness. It's a positive state where individuals can thrive and flourish. So as we go through life, we all wear different hats. Sometimes, at the same time, sometimes we're juggling, sometimes at different seasons in our life. And these are some of the hats that I've identified high level that we could be using, on a mainstream level: the corporate, the homemaker, the carer, battling illness. And, while we go through this, you need to basically always show up again with your cup full. You cannot just wing it, no matter what hat you are wearing. So that means for your cup to be full, your well-being is not an option. It's essential. And as we go through each of these different hats that we need to wear, I will ask you if you identify with any of these hats, which one is most applicable to you. You can unmute and share your views in terms of the lessons, because I've got lessons for each one, and you can read out the lessons and tell me whether you identify or you have any comments. Thank you, Thabo. Next one. So at the end of the day, you are the CEO of your life. You get to manage that hat that you need to wear. And you may be carrying, as a corporate woman, a PowerPoint deck in one hand, reviews in the other, and perhaps the weight of unpaid emotional labor in the other. For me personally, I'm a high achiever, but a silent sufferer. I said yes too often, even when my soul screamed no. I performed until I was empty, and I earned titles, but I almost lost myself. In January, I was diagnosed with cancer, and I worked for a world-renowned gorilla organization. Once they discovered of my diagnosis, they basically ghosted me. I still had to show up and complete the rest of my contract and provide professional services to a cohort that didn't even know what was going on in my life. I had to provide professional services and still navigate cancer treatment. So, no matter what life throws at you, as a woman, you need to develop resilience and you need to be able to march on regardless of where things are, what the season is, and who's showing up and who's not showing up. Life can get tough, and your well being is for you to prioritize. So, some of the lessons we can get in the corporate scene when we're using a corporate hat, I've listed some there. If someone wants to unmute, if you identify as a corporate woman or you're wearing the corporate hat, you can unmute and read the lessons and tell me whether you gleaned anything you identify or what you'd like to implement from this in your personal life. So here's your opportunity. Go for it, guys or women. And guys are welcome too.
So I just read. Well-being starts with boundaries. I'm a high achiever, but a silent sufferer. I said yes too often, and even when my school. Oh, am I supposed to read the lesson or what?
Yeah, the lesson, please.
Okay. You don't have to bleed to prove your worth. Build in micro pauses in your day. 10 minutes of solitude is not selfish, it's strategy. Normalize I'm unavailable as much as I'll deliver. I identify with this because even this year I've I've had times where I just wanted to say no to a whole lot of stuff, to a point where I even wanted to quit. But I just knew everything that was still, you still have to act normal. I mean, my team depends on me. And yeah, but saying these things out loud, it's so important. And thank you for that, Kelly. We do
Thank
need to normalize all of this.
Thank you for sharing, Tim. That's I hope I pronounced your name right, but forgive me if I haven't. Yeah, it's good. It's nice for us as women to be able to identify. I think too often we just keep soldiering on and we don't identify. Even, it's become cliche when we ask our colleague next to us or our neighbor, how are you doing? And we don't really prepare for a response, or we want that real authentic response. You know what, I'm struggling.
So sorry, Kelly, we have a hand from Michelle.
Yes, sure, go for it, Michelle.
Thanks, Kelly. I also want to come back to the slide and say that I'm a high achiever, but a silent sufferer. Um, Often I find myself just extending myself above and beyond. And then I think the family struggles with that. At the end of the day, I don't see the neglect, because what's happened over the years that we have now taken the fact that we work long hours, we haven't slept much, as almost like a badge of success or a badge of honor. And that narrative is taking me such a long time to change. And it's not so easy like a switch that you flick, because you have been working for such a long time in the survival mode, you forget how to work in normal mode or what is actually normal. So, yes, for me, I'm still on this journey. I haven't got there yet. I'm hoping to get there soon, though.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing your insights. And that is so applicable because the reason why I chose this topic is because I'm preaching this to myself. We only get one life and we have to be proactive with our well being. And this is our opportunity. So hopefully, as we go through and reach towards the end, that we'll have some light switch on and we all can come out with a plan of what we want to do in terms of our future. So thank you, Tabo. Next one. So the next one we have is the homemaker, and you are the heartbeat of your home. But tell me this, dear one, when was the last time you paused and checked your own pulse? You've mastered multitasking. You cook, you clean, you nurture, you negotiate tantrums, and you manage invisible schedules. But you often vanish in the process. Personally, I am a homemaker. I work in a corporate pressure cooker. I have to show up for my family, and I wear the hat of an international author and publisher, and I'm a founder of the Beacon of Hope mission. And I cannot run from an empty cup. I have to prioritize my health and my well being. But so often we are stretched and we just keep going on adrenaline at times. I was in South Africa and I met a mother in Durban who raised 4 children on her own. She hadn't taken a day off in 18 years. That's almost a lifetime. When I asked her about her dreams, she paused and whispered, I forgot I was allowed to have any. So if anyone identifies as a homemaker, please don't be shy. Unmute and read the lessons and tell me how you identify and what you've gleaned or what you want to implement or anything that speaks out to you.
Good day, Kelly, and good day, ladies.
Good day.
I'm not sure whether my network is good, but I will try. My name is Bongiwe Gwala. I work at Mthatha Municipality. Thank you, Michelle and Nolan, for sharing the link with me. I joined in late, but I'm relating to how it's being shared right now. In fact, I also related to the cap of a corporate woman as well, but I want to speak about this one as a homemaker, because as a mother, most of the time you care about everyone else. You have children, you have your husband, at work as well. We bring that motherhood with us at work, and we have a different team of members with different needs and different qualities themselves. And you can't leave that mother or the mothering tendencies outside of work. So you find yourself most of the time overwhelmed by everything else around you. And it almost seems like the world is expecting that. And you actually also feel like if you don't offer or if you don't meet up to those expectations, you're not only failing yourself, but you are also failing everyone else around you. And this is something that I have been battling with for years. I am not sure whether I have conquered it, but in the recent years, I've started to also look at what I want as myself. Yeah. So I'm starting to look, because even at myself, like you're saying, we at some point we forget about our own dreams. I had a dream. I wanted to study. I wanted to get somewhere, but I realized that I'm 42 years now, and I'm still behind with what at some point was mattering to me. So now I'm starting to catch up, but again, you are catching up with your own life, and everyday responsibilities are still watching over you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Bongiwe. I appreciate your honesty. And yeah, you can read the lessons if you like and see if anything, leaps out of the page for you. That would be greatly appreciated.
Oh yes, definitely. The one that hit me was the one that says you matter outside your role. Your identity is not defined by your service to others. That one stood up for the rest. Thank you. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you. Next one, Chabo, please. So the next one I have is women who are carers often carry the weight, silently neglecting their own needs. Even when I had cancer, people expected me to fill their cups, not just at work, at church, in the family, in the corporate arena. Even though they knew I was diagnosed, they expected me to bend over backwards and still, do three people's job. I had to dig deep to find the courage to reclaim my identity and to reaffirm my boundaries. And as women and men, we need to do that, especially when we are navigating health issues. We can all most definitely be grace fueled with healthy boundaries. So if anyone identifies as a carer, please feel free to unmute and you can read the bottom bit of it and we can listen to what you identified with. Thank you.
I'm just sitting here silently, Kelly, answering yes to all the slides so far. And I think I'm not the only one
Yeah,
that's
you
guilty.
so many hats and I just picked four. Imagine how many others we are wearing that we're not going to discuss.
And I think they're sitting here silently. So, I really thank Bongiwe for sharing because we also carers at home. The moment you go home, your name changes from Kelly Bongiwe to from Nompilo. It changes to Dudu because you must do this, do that, do everything. So you just gotta do and do and do.
Absolutely. Maybe if we have a gentleman or anyone that wants to read the lessons. Tabo, come on, go for it.
Yes, Tabo.
Okay, thank you. Women who are carers often carry weight while silently neglecting their own needs. Every time a woman who chooses rest over rushing, rewrites history. If the world silences your voice, well-being gives a microphone. Well-being isn't about green juices or gym hours. It's about living a life that doesn't require escape.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Chabo. Does anything speak out to you from there or no?
Yes,
I think
it
it's
does.
powerful. Sorry. Go ahead, Tabo.
Yes, it does. It does, Mom Kelly. It reminds me of how powerful and how um, so much my own mother or the women around me are going through. You may see them moving around physically, but never know who would see they actually have the whole world on their own backs.
Wow.
And if they chose at some day, if they chose mhlawumbe to just be silent, the whole thing, even us, we will crumble. So
Thank
big
you.
up and thank you to all the ladies around us.
Yeah, it's so great for people in our life, especially the men around our lives, to actually acknowledge and know that we're carrying so many invisible burdens. And I think quite often that goes unnoticed. So thank you, Tabo, for taking time and for acknowledging what the women around your world are carrying, your mom, your sisters, and everyone else. Thank you for that.
Thank you
Next,
so much, Mom Kelly.
no worries. Slide, please. So the next one is woman battling in illness. I see you, I am you, I walk that valley alone. uncertain and undiagnosed in a land far from my family. I was hooked to IVs, but I held on to invisible hope. Illness strips us of control, hair, energy, but it can never strip us of choice. We do not get a chance when our body fails us. I thank my body for sustaining me for 51 years. Our body is a temple, so we need to be cautious about how we treat it. I thought I was healthy until cancer came knocking on my door, and I had to reevaluate so many facets of my life. So we all need to get proactive about our health. Once I chose to dance to worship music after radiation, not because I felt strong, but because I needed to remind my cells that they were made for life. If anyone identifies and going through a season of illness or, had things happen in their life where life is just not the same, you can unmute and read the lesson and share. And please don't feel shy. This is a moment for us to grow and come together and, become better versions of ourselves. Any takers?
Kelly, I think what most are afraid of now, that what you're showing us is the reality that we have not admitted to ourselves. And now we have it in this power hour, excuse me, glaring at us for an answer, for participation, for truth and dialogue. And just to reassure everybody, after the session, please book your counseling session with LifeLine, because that's what we do. Because Kelly is putting us on this path to really give introspection into what's going on internally and how externally everything is also influencing you. So if you're feeling some kind of way, guys, call us, book a session. We're here.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah, so I'll read the lesson.
Sorry, Kelly. Sorry, we have a hand from Nolan.
Yeah, go for it, Nolan.
Hi, good afternoon, ladies. Happy Women's Month to you guys again. I can relate to the screen, although I'm not a woman.
Yeah,
I'm battling your various illnesses at the moment, I think for the past 2 years. I think once the 50-year mark passed, it's just been a roller coaster of a ride. And I just want to share with you guys that, some of us carry this with us and, not many people know what we carry on our shoulders, but this has been almost a plague. It's ongoing, up to date. And yes, we pray that we all heal and, recover. That's all I want to share. So I can relate with you in terms of your illness. Maybe mine wasn't so life-threatening as yours, but however, I think lots of us carry this burden of having illnesses and various health issues, despite mental issues that some of us also have. But I think health issues is a key one here, and I can certainly relate to those. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Nolan. Greatly appreciated. And yes, there's no lightness in terms of anything that someone has to go with the health. It shakes their soul. So I'm going to cover in the lessons. Well-being in illness looks different. It might mean asking for help, crying without apology, or declaring healing before it's visible. Speak life over your body. Feed your soul truth. You are still whole even while you are healing. Next slide, please.
Sorry, Kelly. We also have a comment on our chat box. from Nompilo Mapumulo, women who are carers often carry weight while silently neglecting their own needs and silently suffering while carrying everyone from everywhere in our bag. And that's hit home.
Absolutely, Nampilo. I totally agree. And yes, I'm so glad that you have the space now where you can sit and reflect. And as Michelle said, reach out and, get the help or anything that you need. And hopefully, as we reach the end, you will be able to see that we need to make proactive plans for our well-being. Thank you for sharing, Nompilo. So the next thing I have here is key aspects to well-being, which is physical, mental, social, financial, and spiritual. These are some of the components. It's not conclusive. However, all of these facets, I did not always feel bold-hearted. Some days I could not find fine even with the binoculars. Well-being was not a grand transformation overnight. Oh no, it was 1,000 quiet decisions. Well-being is not a destination. It is a discipline of choosing yourself daily, even in the dark. Next one, please. Factors influencing well-being. So we got several factors there, which is strong relationships, meaningful activities, healthy lifestyle, resilient, positive self-esteem, sense of belonging. Have you guys heard of Mel Robbins? Anyway, she's taking the world by storm. She's actually up there now, I guess, reaching Oprah Winfrey status with, the global change and movements that she's making in terms of reaching out to people and the following that she has. So basically, she's interviewed thousands of subject matter experts and gurus in the field, and she's crunched the data and basically presented the data back to us from all the global gurus, renowned people around the world. And what she basically presented in the data are top 3 factors that basically influence our well-being and longevity. And if you look at the screen, maybe there's, from the top 3, there's 2 aspects that may be listed on the current screen, and the third one is left field. You wouldn't guess. Anyway, I won't ask you to guess, so I'll just dive into it. The first one that the data comes up with is we need to exercise. It is mandatory to move your body 5 times a week. And in that 5 times, you need to walk 3 times a week. That's for 45 minutes, brisk walking, not leisurely walking. And you need to do 11 push-ups a day. So that's a lot, but that's what the gurus tell us we need for our body to reverse aging and to stay healthy. That is the medication. The second thing is you need to have meaningful connections. When you share your life and issues of life, you basically help your nervous system to relax, and it produces oxytocin. And this is based on the world's longest clinical evaluation, which is going on now, still in process for over 80 years. That joy and happiness depends on you having a proper support system and tribe where you can genuinely connect and help relax your body. Also, research shows us that loneliness now is considered as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes per day. That is staggering. So you cannot live in isolation. Yes, I was just as shocked. So that means You need to create a strong support system so you can find emotional resilience. If you don't, if you're isolated, you're doing the same harm to yourself as smoking 15 cigarettes per day. So let this be a wake-up call for us all. And the third thing, which is a bit of left field, at least it was for me, but it was a huge eye-opener because I'm preaching to myself. The third thing is the average person spends, wait for it, 20 years of their life scrolling. Yes, scrolling. And this excess screen time is harming our lives in so many profound ways. It leads to sleep disruption, eye strain, anxiety, a cluttered mind. We need to practice prolonged downtime because every hour that you stay away from your screen, you're actually giving yourself that time to connect, to rejuvenate, to create, and to live. So you need to make that proactive choice. Next screen, please, Tabo.
We also have a comment on the chat box, Kelly from Nolan. He's saying he's guilty of not exercising and he's thanking you for the encouragement. Thank you.
I know everyone's going to be hitting, their new priorities. Absolutely. We need to take our well-being seriously. So the next thing I have is tools to enhance your well-being. Well-being is not static. It is dynamic, which means it's ever evolving and changing. It can fluctuate depending on various factors and situations. It is an ongoing process that requires your efforts and attention, especially for you, Nolan. Yes, I was thinking of you. To be peace-drenched, you have to make the effort to prioritize your well-being. So I've listed, sorry, losing my voice. I've listed some tools to enhance our well-being. One of the first things we can do is reset breaths. So what we do here basically is you need to take a breath through your nose for 3 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and you let out a long exhale through your mouth for 5 seconds. So it's 3, 4, 5. Let's try that. And you can do this as many times as you like. You can do this while you're in the bathroom. You can do this before you get up. You can do this in your car. You can do this before the station. And anything you need.
Yeah.
Have you me? Hello. Sorry. Did you hear me or did you lose me?
We can hear you. Carry
Oh,
on, Kelly.
sorry, I was getting a call and sometimes, it loses the voice. So reset breaths, what it basically does is it sends a message to your nervous system that you are safe. The next thing you can do is tapping. So tapping, there are various points in your body that you can tap. And while you're tapping, you need to verbalize a positive affirmation like, I will pass my exams with distinction today. So whatever is pertaining to the situation that you are going through at the time. And there's a specific routine that you need to follow. Tapping takes you from that negative line to a positive line in a short space of time. And in essence of time, I don't have the time to go through the entire process, so I'll let you do that offline. You can do a YouTube to find out the specific way to do that. The next thing is gratitude. So every morning, think about or write down 3 things that you're grateful for, not related to work, but related to your soul. And what this does is it basically helps you to focus on the glass that's half full rather than half empty, and it rewires your brain. And the next thing is focus on progress rather than perfection. That person that opened up, that small win that you had, it all matters. So don't let it, just fall by the side. Appreciate it and let it rejuvenate your spirit and your soul for the day, because it makes a difference. And the next thing I have is develop habits to remove negative emotions. This again is based on research and evidence. And it shows us, research and evidence shows us that when we have negative emotions like anger, resentment, frustration, it basically sits in our body. And then we don't deal with it. We go home, we get busy preparing dinner, taking the dog out for a walk, do the other 1,000 things we need to do. And then we get back and present for work the next day, and we're just going in the normal mode. However, that negative energy sits with us, and then it builds, and then it builds, and it goes layer upon layer upon layer. And what happens is that it remains in our body, and when it remains in our body, it manifests. It manifests as chronic disease, and this is where it starts with inflammation. Inflammation is the biggest catalyst for so many diseases in our body. It starts with arthritis, and cancer can stem, and so many other things from inflammation. And it's simply because we don't deal with negative emotions. And one of the ways you can get rid of that negative emotion is let out a scream right from the belly. Let it come from the depth of your belly right up your system, and vocalize it through your mouth. Yes, scream, a loud shriek. And I know that people around you or your neighbors might get worried, but what you can do is you can actually purchase a screaming jar, which you can get on Amazon. And basically what it does, it muffles your the sound. So yes, it's a commercial product because this is based on verified research. So when you feel overwhelmed with anger and tension or whatever, you always need to find a way to get it out of your body, because research shows it's better off out of your body than within, because if it remains within your body, it's going to cause you harm. The next thing we have is journaling, which is similar to removing negative emotion out of your body. So you get all that clutter out of your mind onto paper or a digital form, and it basically helps you to recalibrate your brain. But you also look at what you have on paper, and you can realize, oh, am I reading between the lines here? Or where do I want to go? How I want to prioritize my life? It gives you something that you can glare back and make introspection. And then I have invest in professional development. This is so important, as we go through life. And when we going through so many things, and we get caught up in a web where we just, circling, and we may feel like we are doing nothing but striving, and we're striving in circles, just making it to work, doing our 8 hours, driving back in, sitting in traffic, getting home, doing the normal mundane at home, and then coming back to work and doing the same thing over and over again. But even if you are stuck in life that's going, like when you feel it's going nowhere, it's just the motions, you need to be proactive to create a different version of yourself. Even when you are in the valley, even when I didn't feel like I needed to get up, and even when I had cancer, I had to feel like I had to get up, and I have to invest in myself. I have to invest in my future. I have to invest in my health, and take a tiny step. Just read a book. If it's too much, read a page. Listen to a podcast. If it's too much, just listen to some uplifting music. Do one tiny thing for yourself to make yourself feel better. for the day. And the other thing I have is research and be proactive with holistic healing. So even when I went on my journey, what I noticed that in the hospital setting with private care, you think that you are going to get, and this, is a first world country, you're going to get state of the art healthcare. But no, even at that level where clinicians are professionals and qualified, they are humans and they are just doing their job, and you are just like a number to them. They want you to survive, they want to have the best outcome, but they are not, your health is not what they are championing. I've had clinicians that have given me such bad advice. It was so left field that I thought, oh my goodness, I'm not even going to go there. And I had to do my own investigation, and I had to, go through my own journey and outcomes that I wanted. And while I'm going through this journey, I have another friend who's also on a cancer journey. And she doesn't have the background that I have in terms of clinical experience at work. So I know what questions to ask. And I know when someone tells me something, it's left field. She comes from she's a homemaker. So she doesn't know the clinical questions to ask. And she just thinks those are gospel. And I was like, no, it's not the gospel. You need to find out for yourself whether this is, the best option for your health. So get proactive. When people say to you, okay, you need to have a dual mastectomy, don't just sign on the dotted line. You need to investigate your options and know what you need and make decisions that are good for you, and you need to have peace about it. Next slide, please, Tabo.
Sorry, Kelly, can we read? We've got some messages from our chat box before we move to the next slide. Itumeleng Seleke, that doom scrolling is a major factor in my life, especially since I spend so much time on my phone for work. Need to be more intentional of my phone use. Thanks, Kelly. And from Michelle, oh yes, I'm on the gratitude path, love it. And another one from Michelle, negative emotions are the main cause of distress in individuals, impacting them body, mind, and soul. It's a plug. Can we try it now, all of us? Thank you.
Yeah, go for it. What are we trying? We're going to scream.
You got it. I think we need to have that scream either at the end of your session or somewhere in between. So everybody needs to practice it right here, right now with you. And so you can call it, Kelly, at the end of your session, whatever. We guided by you.
Yeah, I have everyone that's sleeping here. It's almost midnight, but yes, let's do it. Okay. So the next slide I have is an invitation to you, ladies. Life has offered me a second chance after my diagnosis. Not everyone gets a second chance. So be strategic and start living your best life now. We must stop treating our well-being like it is a line item on a to-do list. It is not an afterthought. It is the soil from which everything else blooms. Our careers, our families, our healing. So today I invite you to pause. Pause to breathe. Pause to feel. Pause to reclaim your name before the world renamed you. Busy, sick, strong, or selfless. Because when women pause, we don't become less powerful. We become unstoppable. Next slide, please. So my closing words, may we teach our daughters to rest without guilt. May we show our mothers that joy is still available. And may we remind ourselves that well-being is not earned, it is honored. Happy Women's Month. Stay well, stay fierce, and stay you. Love you, ladies, and thank you. Next slide, please. Do you have any questions?
I think everybody
sorry,
can
Kelly,
feel
there's
free.
one.
Feel
There
free
is one
to open
comment.
your mic. Yeah. Thanks, Lungi.
Okay, there's one comment that I missed from Connie. She says, absolutely powerful insights. We should live a life we don't have to escape from.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite lines.
If anybody wants to comment or have any questions for Kelly, while everybody is gathering their thoughts, Kelly, I just want to say the reason why we were so silent is we are soaking it all in. And in order for us to soak it in, we got to be silent and we got to reflect. And that reflection has given us a new trajectory and a choice of what we want to do and how we want to do it. I mean, this power hour was absolutely superb. In capital letters and bold in flashing lights. It was absolutely superb. And what everybody needs to hear every now and again. Despite us being in the same industry of helping and supporting, sometimes it just goes in a different way and hits us when it comes from somebody else, from a different source. Not related to us, not related to our work. So we are so grateful for this opportunity, Kelly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. But I'm going to open the floor to anybody else. If they want to have a comment, please raise your hand and then open your mic and go for it. Anybody? Open your mic and then have your comment.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Okay, if I may come in, Michelle. I
Go for
just
it.
want to, this is Bongiwa again. I just want to appreciate to Kelly for sharing her story with us. In her voice, I'm picking up such strength and resilience. That on its own has spoken to our souls a lot. The content that she has shared, it's very practical. One thing maybe that makes such seminars and gatherings be not so popular, it is the fact that at times it will speak in terminologies that are too far-fetched from our daily living. So thank you for bringing it down to our level. Thank you for talking everyday language to us. The reason why I was silent is because most of the things that you were speaking about, it did hit certain areas of my life that are currently sore. But be that as it may, it is necessary that you get a voice of reason coming from somewhere, random voice telling you that you might be thinking that you are doing things the right way. You might be focusing on being strong and pushing, and yet you are silently killing yourself. So thank you for sharing yourself with us, and God bless you.
Thank you, Bongiwe. That's really appreciated. And thank you for sharing how it has touched you. I really appreciate that because that's what gives me the fuel to go on. You know, some days, as I said, I cannot find fine even with the binoculars, but I push forward because I want to make a difference in people's life. And this is so important. You know, we don't get a second chance with our health. So people be proactive.
Wow. Thank you so much, Bongiwe. I'm going to give 10 seconds. If there isn't anybody else, I'm going to round up the session and conclude. So going once. Anybody? Going twice. I see the emojis, Kelly, just lots of emojis. Nobody wants to take the mic.
Thank you again, it's Itumeleng. Thank you again for raising these issues. we do sometimes tend to think that these are some of the things that don't matter, or that you sound like a crybaby. Ooh, you've got nice life problems, they like to call it some of these days. So thank you for making us comfortable, knowing that it's not always good to be strong. It's not good for your health. I've experienced that personally as well in other forms. I mean, we were in a car accident 2 years ago, and my little sister's baby even passed away in the accident. And I had to be strong because there was nothing else that could happen. I even had to go and now see a psychologist. I still see a psychologist to this day because I was hurting myself internally from trying to repress some of the feelings. So thank you for the space, and thank you, Michelle. I was also silent because I was like, yo, I'm identifying too much with everything. The emotions are just a lot, and trying to identify what exactly do I want to put forward to everybody. It's not something that I could really put my finger on. But thank you again, Kelly. And really, your voice is so soothing. It's so calm, and it's so encouraging. Thank you, and keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. You are making a difference. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing your experience. And I'm sorry about what you had to go through, but it is so great to come together with everyone in a safe forum and understand that, yeah, women are carrying burdens that we don't know anything about. And, we can, as Michelle said, reach out for professional help so that we can become better versions of ourselves. And we need that. Do not be a soldier. It's not worth it.
Thank you, Kelly. I know it's probably close to midnight where you are, and the US, I think it's already 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. With that being said, I just want to round up a few points, Kelly, from your side, and from the entrepreneur in the earlier, Ms. Mkunu, and then the spotlight on Itumi, and then with you, Kelly. What resonated through the whole thing is with Ms. Mkunu, Bongiwe, you need to take note of this important factor that she started where she was. So doesn't matter the age, you start where you are. And that's what Kelly rightfully said throughout the presentation, that guiding with yourself, checking, and also bringing forward the alignment. It will come, but you just have to start where you are. And like Tumeleng said, be careful what you ask God for, because you're going to get it. So she's just saying manifest what you need. And with the boundaries that you spoke about, Kelly, that is going to be something that is a takeaway from here. We all need to set that boundaries for ourselves, for our families, for our friends, for the work. We cannot go on every day with this badge that we hold that I've worked so hard, I've worked long hours, had 2 hours of sleep. That is no more the narrative. And with the boundaries come meaningful connections, because when you find your tribe, and last week we spoke with Dr. Stephanie about the tribe, and she said if they resonate with your values, you go with them. And there's no tribe without their problems, but that's where you're at. You're going to find your tribe. Excuse me. And with the prolonged, the prolonged use of social media, or the phones for that matter, I think one thing for Itumeleng is, or everybody for that matter, if you can wholeheartedly set your phone down for 2 hours because there's no work to be done, I think you can have it under control. But where you're using the device as a computer and a workspace, like Itumeleng said, intentionally, you got to make things happen differently. And to move forward, I love all the breathing techniques and the journaling and the research and the pauses. Those are so essential for us because we forget this so often. And thank you for reminding us, Kelly, that these are the things that we need to just catch as we're going through life, and then remind each other every now and again. On that note, Kelly, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for your time and for attending and making this event online a success. I'm so glad that we have gone on the international platform and with people like Kelly Markey and Dr. Stephanie that has come on board so generously with their philanthropic efforts to support this platform. We are forever grateful and humbled to have you at our side, standing together, fighting for the causes that we believe in. On behalf of LifeLine Zululand, the board members, the team here at the office, the team on the ground, our volunteers, our heartfelt thank you to Kelly Markey for this phenomenal, superb, in bold letters presentation today. And it will be available in a few days' time on YouTube. Please feel free to download and share your snippets and your nuggets. And we'd like to hear from everybody in terms of how did you enjoy this and what would you like to see Lifeline do next. On that note, have a good night, have a good evening, have a good morning, and God bless everybody, and do take care. Yes.
Thank you.